back to another episode of the CITAP Plus Return of the China Market Educational Series, where we chat with key players in the tourism industry to discuss and highlight important considerations when you are looking at working with the Chinese inbound market. My name is Shan, and I'm happy to once again host an episode of the series. Today's episode is part 2 of a 3-part RTO segment highlighting information you need from China market RTO experts as you prepare for its recovery. And as always, here's an outline of the agenda for today's episode. As a refresher for those tuning in for the first time, this episode will recap the discussion with Cal Travel's Alice Lin and Zen Travel's Bruce Pan on their thoughts about recovery and what they're seeing on the ground, a discussion that provided perspectives from both Western and Eastern Canada. If you haven't seen part 1 of the RTO segments, click into the previous episode before continuing on. Otherwise, let's get into the recap. Group versus FIT ratio has changed quite noticeably since pre-pandemic. In the past, patterns between the US and Canada were often loosely mirrored. But what does that really mean? Well, for example, if group travel is growing in the US, there's a decent chance we could see that same pattern in Canada. This correlation works inversely as well. The interesting thing is even though group travel is currently open to the US at the time of recording, our RTO experts have observed that there aren't really many groups on the ground just yet. This could be due to a number of reasons, but one thing that stands out is the US's approved status on the list released by China's Ministry of Culture and Tourism. The approved status happened quite suddenly, which caused a reactive state of planning and shorter lead times. Combining the sudden approval, reactivity, and seasonality, getting groups on the ground proved to be a difficult feat. Our RTO experts predict that a similar pattern will occur when Canada receives approval status. This could result in a couple of changes to group and FIT patterns. Firstly, the lead time could be extremely short due to the sudden approval status, or secondly, the lead time could actually increase as RTOs plan for the coming year instead. When it comes to key and emerging trends, as it stands, small groups and FITs have more opportunities in the coming years, especially during the recovery period. Historically requested destinations are still on China's bucket list, but there may not be immediate high volume. Generally speaking, costs are still very expensive, so clients are looking at opportunities for cost-effective yet robust itineraries. Although there is interest to increase the length of stay, the cost remains as a deterrent to actually implement this, which might result in the length of stay either staying steady or trending shorter than what we saw pre and during the pandemic. As for shoulder and low season, RTOs understand that it can be a better option for availability and cost considerations. In addition, there's a general awareness among the market about the advantages of selling shoulder and low season. However, from the client's perspective, there really just seems to be limited offerings. To clarify, products are limited with seasonal closures, or they're too similar to the offerings back home. A good example of this is because of the 2022 Beijing Olympics, winter attractions are more or less readily available. So if cost is an issue, the choice could be to stay domestic. And although the cycle enforces most clients to travel domestically, high-end clients will still be looking for different experiences and special attractions. High-value guests, otherwise known as HVGs, could be a target audience for low season due to their curiosity of unique experiences. For example, ski, northern lights, and other related winter products are attractive to the HVG clientele. Ultimately, as it currently stands, mid-October to early November still has opportunities due to the extension of autumn product. Okay friends, that wraps up episode 2 of the 3-part RTO discussion. Thank you so much for tuning in to the CITAP Plus Return of the China Market series. As always, we hope you found some insights on what's happening here and now with the China market and its recovery. Stay tuned for the upcoming episodes where we discuss what's potentially coming up for this market and how you can best prepare. See you in the next episode.